Perspective. It sucks. So I taught it for 4 hours. This is its condensed version. Faye can animate, she can draw, she can sing, she can do everything. Almost rhymed, almost.
You're just gassing me up now. Oh my god, I can't sing, no.
And today, unfortunately, this magical witch has one little thorn in her side. What are your weaknesses?
This is how my weakness is perspectives. This is how I draw a house.
Actually, before we even start perspective, I want you to think of a different concept. I want you to think of the real world, and then there is a camera observing this thing. All perspective is basically a projection. This camera projects this image onto a flat piece of paper because we only work in 2D, right? So we have to turn this 3D thing onto a 2D thing. So all perspective is just tools we can use to kind of emulate what a camera would see. The simplest way we can do this is one-point perspective is the most simple type of perspective, and it's the most wrong type of perspective. And therefore, it's the most limiting. The only time you can really use it is when you're like looking down an alleyway, for example.
Yeah.
We're not trying to turn a cube that's facing towards us, but to our side. We take these lines of the cube and we just bring them forward into the scene, right?
Yeah.
And we have some vertical lines. And in fact, all of these lines of the cube head towards that point. Okay, then things further along in the distance, you basically have to follow this line, right? So if I make another box, has to follow this right here. So now this box is further away than this box because of overlap and because it's smaller. So if we assume this boxes are the same size, basically these vertical lines are following this line of the thing. That means they're the same height and the same orientation. Everything in the same orientation shares the same vanishing point. If a cube is rotated in 3D space, then the vanishing point also moves. When we're doing perspective, we assume that everything is like snapped to a grid in terms of orientation and rotation, because it makes our life a lot easier, and I'll show you some tricks on how you can then exploit that to get something pretty close to being accurate in rotation, that you can then rotate cubes inside of cubes. But that's for later. Two-point perspective allows us not to look only at boxes from head-on, it allows us to rotate our boxes. Because in one-point perspective, all the boxes have to be pointing directly towards us. Usually when we're doing two-point perspective, you want 1 point closer to the center of the canvas, 1 point really far away. There's actually some maths that you can calculate depending on your lens, diameter, and stuff like that, exactly how far these points should be far apart. But for now, just make sure that one of them is further than the other. It just kind of looks better. It looks more dynamic. You don't want them to be completely symmetrical. So now, remember how in a box you had the vertical lines? These horizontal lines now converge towards this point. These horizontal lines converge to that point. And boom. So now you can see this side, and the top side of a cube, right?
Yeah.
Now there is other limitations to this two-point perspective. Namely being is if you have a cube to the side of either of these things, so if we have a cube over here, all of a sudden, it no longer worky for many reasons. Like, just try and draw a cube that's to the side of these 2 points.
Okay, so let's try doing that. Guys, I'm gonna ace this, no problem, because I'm built different. We will do this line, obviously, will adhere to this dot. And this is one.
Do you see a problem? Yes. Yeah. Quick problem.
And then. Can you see the cube?
No.
Look, it's got the 6 face.
So I think we've run into the limitation of two-point perspective, which is basically you can't put things outside the bounds of the 2 points very easily.
Because.
Yep. Now I want you to draw a cube really far down.
Oh, okay. I remember doing this. It made it look all silly. Check out this cube, guys. Not as good as the one I did last time, but
yeah,
we take it.
This one is correct according to the laws of two-point perspective. This is what we get. It is a solid B+. It's following the internal logic of two-point perspective, and as we all can see, it looks real funky. I'd give it an A+ if you drew through your lines and use a ruler. Aside from that, perfect.
Okay.
So that's
these are the flaws.
Yeah, of two-point perspective. Basically, it's only useful between the 2 points. This occurs for all perspective. You want to stay within the points, right? And finally, with two-point perspective is you can't go too far up or down. Otherwise, the distortion becomes really, really massive. So to deal with this, the problem of not being able to draw vertically is now we have... If we were to draw a cube, imagine this is in 3D, not like a 2D shape. This cube has 3 sets of parallel lines. So we have this set of parallel lines, right? And they all head towards a vanishing point. Then we had the other set of parallel lines, these ones over here. Because in 3D space, these are parallel lines, right? They're all parallel to each other. Just when we're drawing them in 2D, parallels become converging. But all of a sudden, so far, all of our perspectives have only worked on these 2. The other parallel lines have all stayed parallel, right? So if we want to get closer and closer to reality, now we have to do something about these vertical ones, right?
Yes.
That's where 3-point perspective comes in. It now connects to these vertical lines and tells them where to go.
Incredible. So we're gonna be utilizing all XYZ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want you to now zoom into your canvas and draw a eye line. I'm just gonna be directing what you do now.
Okay. Whoa, the pixelation's crazy.
That's all right. We don't need pixels where we're going. Now, I just want you to put down two vanishing points, like you're doing just the regular 2-point perspective.
Yep.
Now, I want you to scroll your canvas down so you can't see the eye line anymore. I want you to put a point there, somewhere on your canvas.
Right.
Preferably somewhere towards the middle. Perfect. I want you to now to draw a cube to the best of your abilities with 3-point perspective. Keep in mind what I was talking about.
I will draw right in the center here.
Wrong.
No, wait. Hold on. Muscle memory. Let's do this here first. Like that, like this, like that. Perfect. Yeah, this seems to be good.
There you go. So now you have a 3-point perspective. So now you can draw things at a 3/4 angle, so you can view it from the side and from below or from the top. So now you see how the eye line's there, and you have your cube below the eye line, and your third vanishing point is below the eye line as well. Now I want you to draw a cube above the eye line using the same method.
Okay. I will start again.
Basically, we're just showing the limitations of 3-point perspective. Real quick.
I like looking at the limitations of things.
Because I don't want to just teach you like how to use things. I want to show you also like why you shouldn't use things in certain scenarios, so you can like troubleshoot some issues. Like,
yeah, you can't, can you?
You can. It's nowhere near as bad as like with the 2-point perspective scenario that I showed you before, where you don't even know where to start.
Oh,
like I don't.
Actually, yeah, I think I see it.
Yeah, there you go. So it is possible.
Right there.
Unlike the 2-point perspective one that we were showing earlier. However, it's really wonky. It doesn't look right. There's a lot of distortion, and the further the cube goes from the top, the more wonky it'll get. You can see how like the top becomes wider and wider. Yeah. So one trick you can get away with still using linear perspective, so you can like draw things above the horizon line and below the horizon line or eye line, is you can have one vanishing point for the vertical lines from above the eye line and one for below. So you can actually have 2 points. Now this is what we call. Basically, it's a trick you can use to make 3-point perspective work even when you're trying to draw things above and below the eye line. Basically, things above the eye line follow the top point, things below the eye line follow the bottom point, right? But that's icky.
It is icky.
Keep in mind on the idea where you have a cube and it has 3 sets of parallel lines.
It does, yes. This definitely requires more practice.
Right?
Yeah.
So in theory, now we have the answer to everything. Perspective is solved.
You can draw every kind of cube ever.
Exactly. You can do anything. You can probably take over the tri-state area. Who knows? Probably.
Hell yeah.
However, you already know this stuff, right? And yet your problems aren't solved.
This is like the most I know. My brother does graphic design, so I've never touched upon 3-point perspective. This is the first time I'm drawing it, but I've definitely seen it around, and so this is as much as I'm familiar with. So
now we have basically a fork in the road. Do we want to talk about basically the tricks of measurement? So remember the issue that you had, basically the foreshortening? We can go into some methods for foreshortening.
Pillars, right? Yeah.
Yep. Or we can talk about how to basically draw these cubes in relation to each other intuitively.
What do you mean by in relation to each other intuitively?
So without having to draw all the other grids and stuff, and they're going to be roughly correct. This is the stuff that you can employ into all your art from now on, and it will basically make your non-background work a million times more volumetric.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. This is what we have. We got a cube.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
With this cube, we now have our entire perspective. If you've drawn one cube, you have the perspective of everything. Here, let me show you. You can draw one cube.
Yeah, you draw one cube. You do that.
You can then draw plenty of other cubes in the same 3D space.
Oh yeah, it's like through practice, you kind of like visualize where the points should be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Oh
there's
my
some
god, you drink fisheye.
Yep. We're
You're
actually
doing it. Oh my god, my brain. It's expanding.
This level right here is roughly where you can get to in about, let's say, 3 months of practice.
Yeah, just casually 3 months of practice.
Is it
I'll
like-
check back with you with the collab in 3 months.
It's like a couple cubes a day, you know? It's not that hard.
Yeah. You're right.
So, how do we get to this level, whatever the hell this level is? So, as we learned before, the cube has 3 sets of parallel lines, right? Now, every cube shares the same vanishing point, right? So, actually, I'm gonna now get you to do it instead. I'm not gonna give you any visual example. I want you to just follow my instructions and use your best instincts to do this.
Holy crap.
I want you to draw a cube.
Okay.
Just make sure that the parallel lines are converging, all 3 sets. So you're doing 3-point perspective, basically, just without any of the vanishing points.
There we go. Yes.
So I want you now to look at each set of parallel lines, and I want you to pick out one from each of them that looks the most wrong. It's not going in the same direction as the others. Because right now, this cube is good, but it's not correct
It's not
enough
correct.
yet. I hope right now, immediately, you can tell that something's off.
Probably this one.
And there's another one
Maybe
that's
also
really
this
off.
one.
Yeah. So those ones
Yeah.
are definitely going in another direction than the other 2.
Yeah, because this one's converging this way, but these are converging that way.
Yep. So that's our first thing that we have to fix. And remember, vanishing points are always away from the camera. So the ones in the back are coming towards the camera in 3D space, if you were to imagine it. So immediately, if something's converging, so we're getting smaller as it gets closer to the camera, you know you've done messed up.
Right.
Those are going to be the ones I had to fix. So that's your first thing to try and fix.
I should have used multiple layers. Yes.
Perfect. So far, we've gone through 2 of these parallel sets, right? The left points, because they're going to the left vanishing points. We've done the verticals. All we have to do now is the rights. Those are the last ones we have to fix.
Alright. I think it's almost like as if these 2 are converging and these 2 are converging at different points.
Exactly. I'm surprised you caught that. Exactly.
Yeah.
The bottom ones are actually converging to a vanishing point that's closer than the ones on top. So basically, they're converging more than the top
Yeah.
ones.
Oh my
However,
god, Georg says my eyes are good.
yes, exactly. Your eyes are good. That's the hardest part right there, where it's not obvious like the ones that we did on the left side, right? Those ones were very obviously wrong. But these ones are a lot more close. This is what we refer to as wonkiness. It's where it's mostly correct, but it looks a bit wrong, right? So basically, we have this line here and this line here are converging somewhere over this way, and this line are converging somewhere over there, right? And if we look at this line and this line, they're kind of converging towards the right place. So the majority of the wonkiness is probably not coming from this line. That means it's probably from this line. So all we have to do is really simple. You then just fix this one.
Yeah.
Boom. That's not perfect, but you get what I'm trying to say. Basically, we narrowed it down to which of the lines was causing the problem. It's subtle, so don't overdo it. So don't make it make it subtle, because the issue wasn't that big. And this cube right now is good enough. We're not going for
Good
perfect, because we're not using vanishing points.
Right.
Great, now we can draw a cube, just we skip the vanishing points. That's not very useful yet, is it? I want you to now make this box longer.
Longer?
Yep, longer. Perfect.
Yeah.
So this box right here is a bit wonky, but it's mostly correct, right? There are some lines that are kind of like some lines are not perfectly going converging, and it's fine. It still passes. Like it still reads as a cube, right?
It does still read as a cube.
Perfect. What doesn't read right now is the eye line. It looks like it has nothing to do with the cube, right?
What are you talking about? Eyeliner?
So here's your next job. I want you to move that eye line to a place where you think it would make the cube look like it connects with the eye line.
It's happening. Everything's gonna make sense. Vibe here.
Perfect. That's where I also think the eye line would be roughly. Perfect. There you are.
I feel like I'm a part of like a TV kids show. Where do you think the eyeline will be? Wow, good job.
So now I want you to focus.
Thanks, Laura.
So if you look on my canvas, we have this plane right here.
Wait, it looks horrible on your canvas.
Because I flipped it.
Oh, you flipped it! Flipping the canvas works in this situation.
I basically want you to focus on these planes that I've numbered, right? The top one, the middle one, and the bottom one. Notice how, as the closer they get to the eye line, the more flat they become. The more squished they become. This is the key to everything. And so if it's directly on the eye line, this right here would be squished into an infinitely thin pancake, right? This is what happened before. Now, can you tell me what happens on your back on your canvas? I want you to extend this cube even further beyond. And I want you to try and think of it as 4-point perspective.
Oh,
Basically means
we've never done that before.
Anything above the horizon line, I want you to now converge somewhere up to the top. Yeah. So as soon as the line crosses the center, I want you then to make it converge. Oh, no, they're diverging. They're diverging.
Oh, okay. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I flip my canvas?
Sure. Flip it as much as you want.
All right.
Yeah, no, tell you not to. Wait, I just realized. I want to draw another cube on top. I was actually trying
Another.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Because what I was picturing was that was actually the bottom. The line that you drew right there was the bottom of the cube.
Oh,
Yeah.
You wanted me to extend. You didn't want me to extend. You want me to draw a whole new cube.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
But this concept of things above the horizon line head towards a point above them, and below the horizon line lead towards points below them, is basically, and that there's a left vanishing point and a right vanishing point, is all you need for all perspective. You're basically now as good as I am, just minus the practice.
Ah, no, I'm not.
Minus the practice, if given enough time, you are as good as me at any of the things I do.
Well, not the shading.
That is a bit different from perspective. I was talking
That's
about
true. That's true.
in terms of boxes. As long as if we remove complete fisheye, like this in 4-point perspective, you're as good as I am. As I'll
It'd be
ever.
like 500 hours of practice.
And we get rid of like rotating boxes, and we get rid of like more complex shapes than boxes, because
I want to rotate.
in terms of boxes, and in terms of not rotating those boxes, you're already as good as I am. You have all the information I have. You're basically perfect.
What a confidence boost. I've just got a good way with words.
Thank you.
How would you go about rotating the boxes then? Because that is definitely something. Because if I wanted to do backgrounds, someone will never put a box down, like as a character. They would never just pick a box up and put it down that aligns perfectly with all the other furniture in the room that's like geometrically parallel to everything. You know. They would just put it there, and I would assume that it would have their own vanishing point at that. Like maybe on the eye line.
Okay. We got a cube. Pretend it's a good cube. So we can rotate it this way, right? But now if we want to rotate the box, what we do is we move this point and we move this point. So if we rotate it towards the right, we rotate it this way. Now the new vanishing point is going to be over here. I'm actually going to put it above. And this point is going to move even further to the left. So what happens is something like this. So you see how like this point shifted this way?
Yeah.
And this point shifted that way. Now, the distance between these 2 points, there's some mathematical stuff, and honestly, I don't know it off the top of my head. I just know it intuitively, because it's complicated. If you want to learn more about everything I've said here, a really great book that you can read in your own time that basically has all this information and so much more is How to Draw, Scott Robertson. If you want to learn more about like the actual math and like how to use a lot of these perspective tricks, past just intuition and into actually making it proper, this is what you do. But for most of us, we're not going to be drawing very many mechanical things. We're not going to be drawing many cars, for instance. And for like character design and stuff like this right here is all you need to know. You just have to know that if it rotates, you move these vanishing points.
Okay. That was a nice sponsorship segue.
Okay, do you have any questions? And I really hope you do.
At the moment, not really, because I think you explained everything relatively well, and every question I asked, I already did. But do you think we have enough skills to be able to try doing the repetition thing?
Oh, I completely forgot about that. No, you should have a lot more questions because I've not even touched on that stuff. Yeah. Actually, draw a couple pillars going off into the distance like this one. Basically, try to use the information you have right now to replicate this as close as possible. And from there, I'm going to interject whilst you're doing it and add in new concepts. I think that'll be the best way of doing things.
One here, and then my intuition is to like immediately I'll just slap it in the middle. But it's probably going to sit over here. And if I want to draw like the other pillar, I'll just draw the horizontal line.
Yes.
And then start this like this.
Exactly.
Like that.
So you're like already using 2-point perspective intuitively.
I'm being so smart.
Exactly.
Yay! Yay! There's a bit of thickness to it though, so I just...
So what you said here
Oh god, yeah.
about basically like your vertical line where you try to split it in half was very correct. It's not going to be perfectly in the center because it's in like 3D and you're foreshortening, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick tool to find the center of a plane in perspective. So this is a plane, right? So you have 6 planes to form a square. I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does 6 sides for a die.
Yeah, perfect. So when you have a plane in perspective, you can find its middle by using the cross method. One line from one corner to the other, like this. Then you just use a line coming from like the vertical vanishing point, and it has to connect to this point and the vanishing point. There's the center.
Oh.
And you can do it again. So you can do the X again, and boom.
Whoa, I'm actually dead on. Yeah.
So you can repeat it as many times as you can. Each time you do a vertical line like this, you have a new square that you can like cut in half, right?
Oh.
Now, you're going to run into an issue where this isn't very useful all the time because not everything is in like perfect amounts of like 50%, 50%, 50%, right? Not everything is cut into 8ths and 16ths and 32s, right?
Yeah.
So then we actually need sine, cos, and tan to figure it out perfectly.
I failed that math class.
However, there's also another trick. Now, this one I'm flying off the seat of my pants because I've not done this in literally months since, actually no, years. This is when I first learned this, so this is now a trick that I haven't used in a very long time, so I'm just flying off the seat of my pants on this one. Usually speaking, that I learned by just finding the center and just keep like subdividing it is more than enough for 90% of things you're going to be doing, because you're not going to be cutting things up into fifths very often, right? But what if you do? So
what if I do?
Okay, how does this work?
Maybe it's just because I didn't draw it properly.
Try the cross method again.
I think I know what you...
Try the cross method again, but make the intersection of the cross on the vanishing point, on the horizon line, sorry, the point that the vertical lines go to.
You want me to try this theory?
E. The initial one that you had. Yeah.
Okay.
Now just make the lines that you connect from the magenta line to that point. See if that works.
I should have erased this first. Holy, perspective studying gets really messy really quickly.
Yep. Yeah, that looks more correct, doesn't it?
You reckon?
Yeah. Because now at least the first one is thicker than the second one, which is thicker than the third one, which is thicker than the fourth one.
Oh my god!
I think that might be it.
Does this only work in 1 point perspective?
It seems to only work in 1 point perspective, yes. Yeah, this is pretty limiting.
Okay, so you actually just need to do the cross method and use that as the...
Got it.
Wait.
Oh no.
Oh, it's so cool how we can come up with techniques using the fundamentals.
By Fane 2.
It's like that doodle god thing where you put 2 elements together, you get something new.
There we go. But I haven't used that in a very long time, and I've drawn everything from cars to environments to everything, and it's useful. Don't get me wrong. I personally have never needed it.
I guess it's because you can just do it by eye, huh?
Exactly.
I did by eye.
Your measurement, you know how I was basically correcting you even in the beginning? Basically, you develop an eye where you can kind of judge distances in 3D space. You're not going to be perfect ever, but you get better at it the more you do it.
I don't think if the artist can't tell, then the viewer probably most definitely can't tell.
Exactly. Your goal is to get it looking good enough.
I gotta trick them.
Exactly.
I gotta scam them. I gotta...
All right. So now let's finish up the scene from above, because then we're finally going to head into our last topic, which is fisheye and 6-point perspective.
Oh boy. Like, I guess the good reassuring thing about perspectives is that everything's supposed to make sense. So if you're confused, likely speaking, there is something wrong.
Yeah, but that's also comforting. A lot of times in art, like a lot of things are just like subjective. And that's nice because you have a lot more leeway, but it's also not nice because, it's a lot harder to improve if you don't know if you're going wrong or how you're going wrong. At least
I have another question now. Now, what the heck did I do here? This is so long. You see that, right?
Yeah, I see that.
That bullshit. What is this? Okay, maybe I can fix it because it could probably stem from here. Yeah.
If I were you, I would just be lazy and I would just like squish it.
Yeah, probably. But I've learned that the actions of my consequences always come back to bite me when I am doing perspective. So each time whenever I realize there's something that doesn't look right, I just think, okay, if it doesn't look right, I might have fucked up 50 steps before.
Yeah.
And if I just try catching it with a band-aid, I'm missing the main issue. And it'll just come back like a virus.
It'll come back and haunt you in your fiery dreams, and it will never let you escape.
Yeah. I mean, like, we all learn our lessons in different ways.
Yeah.
And I have trust issues with the band-aid now. I was like, look, it's good.
This is a modified 1-point perspective more than anything, because this is a modified 2-point perspective. We're only like being stringent on one of the points. But yes, this is 2-point perspective.
I think it makes it a lot easier when I only have 1 point to worry about.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, actually.
Remember when I first got you to draw a cube just through intuition?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what I recommend is you do this, basically modified 1-point perspective, because that's really what a 5-point perspective is, which we might be able to get to by the end of the stream.
I still don't know what you mean by
No worries.
5-point perspective. Where does the 5th point go? We've already blotted out the 4 points like we would in the corners of a cube.
Well,
what are we doing, a pentagon now? Is it actually a pentagon?
It's a circle.
A circle! Oh, okay. Okay, so when's pi gonna be a part of this, huh?
Okay. For now, I think you've gotten. I think you can like spend another like 10 hours on this, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
It's just.
Honestly, yeah.
Do you want to go into 5-point perspective?
I want to go to 5-point perspective. Let's do this.
All right. You'll come to regret that decision. Fisheye perspective. So remember 1-point perspective.
Fisheye.
So
okay.
We got the eye line. That's the camera. It's always in the center of your screen. So remember how I said before, like you could put like the eye line, like the center, wherever you want. Well, in technicality, it should always be in the middle of your image. That's what the camera is supposed to be. So this should be in the dead center. The reason why I said you can put it basically anywhere is because if you put it onto different places outside the center of your image, then you can play around a lot with weird distortion. So in technicality, you can put this anywhere, but with 5-point perspective, because we're not working in 6 yet, I want you to have it here. So much like a 1-point perspective, you have a radial line. So basically radius like this with straight lines. We don't have any curved lines yet.
Looks like a butthole.
These are the only straight lines in your image. Everything that goes directly through that center point.
Oh, this is how you draw that circle thing.
Yep. Remember how in 4-point perspective, 4 points? I want you to add in 4 points. Just put them on the vertical and the horizontal lines. And now draw a circle that connects those 4 points. So basically,
it's a circle.
Everything you're going to draw now is going to be within the circle. In fisheye perspective, you cannot go outside the circle. Remember how in 2-point we tried to put a thing outside the 2 points, and it didn't work? Same thing here. You cannot put anything outside of them. This is now your bounding sphere, for lack of a better word. So, now.
Oh, these are the 5 points. It's this. I just realized.
Exactly, yeah. The 5 points I made you to draw are indeed the 5 points.
Wow!
And you see how they come in pairs? So the left one and the right one, the top one and the bottom one? Well, it's actually, you see that one in the middle?
Yeah.
It's actually 2 points. It's actually one in front and one behind.
Holy sh!
And you see there's straight lines where they're actually curving. They're part of the circle as well.
No!
They're tangent. So they're all circles. You've only drawn circles.
God.
Their straight lines are circles.
My brain! It's like a domain expansion.
Let me show you exactly.
That's a good way of wording it, Fizzy.
Domain expansion, I love that.
Yeah.
So let me show you exactly what we're drawing, but from a different perspective. So imagine here's a camera. This is what the camera sees. So here's this 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, one on top, one on the bottom. This right here is 5-point perspective. So we have one circle here. That's your vertical line. You see that?
Yeah.
Here is your horizontal line. That's what we're drawing. It's just that you see how it interacts. So if from the perspective of the camera, you got a horizontal and you got a vertical. That's what we're doing.
Hydration.
And that's why I'm saying like all 5 point is actually 6 point right here.
Oh.
And the way that you get like 6-point perspective is you actually don't do anything to this sphere. You just move the camera in the sphere. You just move it off axis a bit. So now this point here is off to the side instead of the center of your image. Now there will be no straight lines in your entire image. And every single line will be curved. 5 point
Holy!
Yeah. This is a completely different way of thinking about things.
Watermelon.
So I want you to try and use these like lines before. Just draw a cube in 1 point perspective using the vertical line, the straight lines. Perfect. That cube's perfect for what we need. So right now, we can all agree that this right now isn't following 5 point perspective. This is now following 1 point perspective, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to like copy paste that just on the other side. We're gonna actually now make it correct. Now, do you have the warp, like a liquefied-ish tool?
Yes.
Perfect. All I want you to do right now is follow the curvature of the circle, but with the vertical lines. So basically, I want them to bend. Yeah, like that.
Yes.
Now I want the horizontal ones, bend them in towards so they point towards the leftmost point. It's perfect.
Yeah.
No.
I can kind of tell what you're trying to make me do. But what would the lines here look like? Do they stay?
They stay the same because remember.
I guess they would.
Because remember how we drew these lines here?
Yeah.
It's straight instead of curved. So we're doing 5 point perspective, not 6. Basically meaning that one of the sets of parallel lines of your cube is going to be straight. The rest of them are going to curve towards their vanishing points.
I guess normally when you're really good at doing this, you wouldn't be using the liquefy, you would just know how to draw it.
Yeah, you would just... Right now we're just eyeballing the curvature. And I'll tell you right now, the curvature that you're doing right now is a bit too curved.
Okay.
It's just the more you kept playing with it, the worse it was. Kind of like,
wait.
wait. And I didn't have the heart to tell you because it looked like you're having so much fun.
I am having fun.
So,
yes.
now, the closer you get to the edge of the sphere, the more distorted things it will get, the more bent the lines will become.
I'd imagine.
The farther away a point is, the more straight it appears. So this is real perspective. If you have a wide-angle lens, so like a fisheye, and you have something really close to it, so it takes up most of the field of view, it's going to have a lot of distortion because it gets close to the edges of this magical sphere.
Right.
So what happens if you keep the sphere, but you just zoom in to the canvas? Just zoom in. Can you draw another cube? Now zoom back out. You see how it's less curved than the one out back?
It would be, yeah.
Yeah. So I want you now to draw a 4 point perspective cube above the horizon line.
Ah.
Perfect. Now I want you to extend this one down to the bottom. Like, now I want you to draw a cube right below it. And remember, with 4 point perspective, as soon as you hit the eye line, you curve back, then you switch. No, I want you to go all the way down to the bottom, like
all the way down to the bottom. Okay.
Yeah. And with 4 point perspective, the second you like reach over like the eye line, you start going to the other point down below. So it's like a hard angle.
Yeah. Oh, hard angle, really?
Yeah. That's why 4 point
no
perspective.
Smoothing?
Nope. That's 5 point perspective. Is the smoothing?
Oh, 4 points ugly as hell.
Yeah. That you see why I'm trying to do a crusade against it.
Ew, I've never seen 4 point perspective then.
Because usually the way that you like make 4 point perspective not look ugly is you basically avoid putting anything right on the eye line, so it isn't obvious. That's how you get around it.
I see.
Yeah, but that's why it looks so ugly. And why I called it Devil Spawn or something of the like.
Yeah, that's appropriate name.
And you see just how like warped it becomes as you get closer to the thing. Like you can really see it with this cube.
Absolutely. Okay, I've done it. What's next?
Okay, so you notice how like there's these pairs of lines that basically connect. But now imagine they were curved instead of straight. So just curve them with your liquefy tool.
It's the latitude and longitude of an Earth globe.
Exactly. Oh, honey. Yeah. So usually you would just curve it from the get-go. You wouldn't then modify it. But I just want to show you this relationship. How these vertical lines are all connected. The top one and the bottom one are actually connected. They come in pairs.
It's like a watermelon. I'll never stop making that comparison. It's basically a watermelon.
I'm gonna actually call that like perfect.
Yay!
Except, you know what you just did with your vertical lines?
I do.
Do them with the horizontal ones as well. Curve them. Yeah. There's really no difference.
What happens behind? This is like the front, right?
Yep.
And this is behind.
So the reason why I'm struggling right now is because you remember how I said in one rotation? I basically employed some trickeries, finaglings. You're not supposed to use 5 point perspective with things turned in 3/4. This is why. Long story short, it still curves, but it curves. Just make it curve. Just eyeball it.
Like this?
Yeah, so the actual way of doing this is basically drawing a 6-point perspective orb and then making it follow those ones. But just keep finagling it until it looks right, is my answer.
Okay, so
Just don't make it straight. Curve it until it looks
originally
right.
this was the bottom of the cube.
Yeah, it would be concave, is what I will tell you.
Concave only matters depending on which angle you view it from.
So right now, wrong. So right now is convex. It's jutting out. It'll be jutting inwards.
Right. I think my favorite thing has to be 3-point perspective.
It is the most useful. It's usually what you're going to use 90% of the time. It's either going to be 2-point or 3-point. Because basically, you're not always going to be drawing in like 5-point perspective. It's just not feasible. It gets really complicated, right?
Yeah.
More than likely, what you're going to be using is going to be 1-point if you just need something down quickly, right? As long as you have one vanishing point, so things basically become smaller the further away they get from you, that's good enough for like 80% of what you're going to be doing. For 10%, you need like 2-point at least, because it's 3/4 angle and it's like, things from side on, you need about 2-point perspective. But what happens if you're looking above or below something? All of a sudden you need 3-point. So you can see how like the more like complex the scene gets, you need more and more abstractions, higher level abstractions to get something close to what you would actually see. Up to the point where you have a really complex scene and then you need 5 points.
I can't imagine. Oh my god. I can read manga again for the first time now. Okay. I managed to understand all 5 points. I wonder though, like, I'm going to quickly Google search what a 6-point perspective looks like. Because, like, it makes sense as you increase the dots of vanishing points that eventually you're going to somehow make your way around to getting a sphere. But what the heck goes beyond that?
So, actually, I can actually just, like, draw it for you real quick. It shouldn't take too long. So, you know how right now we have one set of parallels that are straight? It's when all 3 parallels are curved, basically. So, god damn it.
Oh!
So, you have this horizon line. Remember how I said you put it in the dead center? Well, what if you put it over here? So now your vanishing point is going to be over here somewhere, over in the back. So now your circle's
like looking at the 5-point perspective from a top-down view.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, kind of. And then this point over here, and there'll be one over here. So now no longer, this eye line is actually curved. This eye line is actually like your the curve from before. So basically you have no more straight lines. All of your lines are now going to be curved slightly.
Yeah.
From there, it's just all intuition. And one way you can do this is seeing a lot of 6-point perspective is copy photos with like wider lenses. That's the best way I can. Oh my goodness.
Oh
Toby!
My God.
Stop it! You need food. Do you have to explain how commerce works again to you?
Oh my god, Toby, thank you for this song. I feel so bad saying that like they have to stop giving me money, even though I definitely do think Toby's got a bit overboard. But like, I'm grateful.
There's nothing wrong with spending Toby's money. It's just he's already paid me $100 to do a boyfriend ASMR for him. $20 is $20, or in this case it was 100 USD. Oh my goodness, Toby, no. Bad.
Oh my god.
Give it to Faye. I don't need your money.
No. Go spend it on some bubble tea. You need some bubble tea in your life. What is
Take a breath, Toby. Before you make impulsive decisions that you will regret later, take a breath. It is. I've said this too many times, Toby. I'm infinitely thankful for all your support. However, support of me, of Faye, of anyone cannot come before support of yourself. Got that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I think I can speak for Faye when we're saying we're extremely thankful for you, Toby.
I'm extremely thankful, but I'm worried. There's a limit.
Exactly.
This would conclude the end of the stream now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good place. And actually, before we do that, just a quick recap. It's a good idea to do a recap, and I want you to do it.
Okay, chat. Today we covered the fundamentals of perspective. We started from 1 point, and should I explain every single point?
You don't have to. Explain it. Explain the parts that were important to you.
Ooh, that's a good way of putting it. I think the coolest thing that I learned this part was probably my favorite, where I was doing the 3-point perspective, because you were trying to like teach me how to do it without drawing the dots specifically.
And how would you summate like the advice on how to draw things like without the points?
Look at everything at the same time instead of one part, one at a time. I can say for myself, a lot of artists, like me, are guilty of trying to make sure that every single detail is perfect, but you get a bit impatient with these kinds of things where you just want to like finish one part and then get really, really detailed, and then start the second part where you should be like finishing everything sort of generally before you start, getting more and more detailed. I was guilty of that a couple of times when I was trying to do this.
Yeah.
And I would notice that you would like snap me out of it every now and then. I'm like, oh yeah, right, we're drawing a cube. Yeah, so this
you don't have to be better than the theory, you have to be better than the audience.
And the way you linked up 2D art with 3D art was very interesting, in the sense where you were like, oh, like the focal point distorts the shape. I was like, oh my god, like Blender!
Exactly.
Oh my god, it's all coming together. I think I was like already pretty good at many of the fundamentals, but I never had anyone to like help me string it together. So there was a lot of points in this stream where I just had like this euphoric moment where I was like, that's why I learned that thing. It came from this. Yeah, that's where it came from. Oh, that was pretty cool.
That makes me really happy to hear.
Right? This is what I meant. Like, it's like, you are a good teacher.
No, thank you very much.
You may be anxious. That doesn't take from the fact that you're still a good teacher. You know how to get people to progress and improve and step up the difficulty and stuff.
Thank you.
This like, yeah.
First of all, I need to thank Faye. Thank you very much, Faye, for having me. It's been a wonderful time. Hopefully.
No.
Hopefully I was of some help to you. What should I say? Guys, remember people, make sure you keep drawing. If you don't, I'm coming for you. Got that? Make sure every time you think of a canvas or a blank piece of paper, you think of me instead and what I'll do to you if you keep it that way. Alright, bye-bye, peeps. You know I love you. Okay, I'm ready now.